And good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show video live stream for Monday, February 10th. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. We'll make sure the camera is situated. It's not. Good morning, Mike.
Yeah, I'm not surprised the camera's not on me either.
There you go. Okay. Now it's perfectly centered on you. It's very nice. All right, it's the WSJM Morning Show after the day after. It's the day after the Super Bowl.
Yes, it is.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I did.
You watched it end to end.
End to end.
Any good snacks?
No, not particularly.
No.
No.
Oh,
My wife.
what the heck is a Super Bowl watch if you don't have good
I know.
snacks?
My wife made chili, which was
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it was nice, but
Yeah.
but nothing extravagant.
I had vegetarian duck yesterday.
How was that?
It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it's basically just gluten,
Duck gluten.
Yeah, seitan or whatever they call it, and it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. It's just seasoned. To me, it actually tastes better than duck. And my only memories of duck is when my mom would make it, and she didn't really achieve getting the gaminess out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I wanted to like duck so bad because it was so pretty,
Right.
and the meat was so red. No.
It's expensive now.
Is it?
Yeah, to go buy duck is.
Where do you buy a duck?
There's a well, I don't want to mention the name. But
Okay.
There's a online meat distributor. It's a cooperative
Oh,
of farmers that raise.
there's an online meat cooperative.
Yes,
What will they think of next?
I'm telling you, and they send it to my house every month.
No kidding. So you belong to a meat of the month club.
Basically, yeah.
That's fun. So how much does a duck cost?
Like a duck breast is like $16.
Oh,
One.
what?
One.
Oh, just one.
One.
Not the other
Not a
one.
package.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because I was like, oh, duck. Oh, duck.
Honestly, the economics of it are probably working out where you could get a shotgun
Yeah.
and get out there during hunting season.
Right.
I mean, sure, your equipment's going to cost a little bit. I was explaining, one of my sons yesterday was asking me about hunting, and he said, yeah, I'd like to go hunting. And I said, well, do you know the costs involved with hunting? Because he was talking about hunting deer.
Okay.
And it's like, well, I'd have to get a license. Yep, you'd have to get a license. Well, I'd have to take a hunter safety course. Yep, you'd have to take a hunter safety course. What else would I need? Well, let's say you want to get a deer, you're going to have to get a deer tag.
Right.
Okay, so that's going to cost you additional money. Then let's say you actually shoot and get a deer.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do with it? Well, I don't know. I mean, Uncle so-and-so wants, he knows what to do with deer. I said, okay, well, let's say you get Uncle so-and-so to get the deer. Yeah. And so you've got it out in the field. You've got to get it to a vehicle of some sort. You got to put it in the vehicle, take it somewhere to a processor.
Right.
That's going to cost money.
Yeah. It's
Then if they've got 8 points on it, like the deer head I have on my wall, if it's got an 8-point antler rack on it, then you're going to have to go to the taxidermist to ask him to fix that up.
Right.
So that's going to cost some money.
Mm-hmm.
Then what are you going to do? Then you need a freezer to put all the meat in. If it's a big deer,
That's going to cost money.
it's going to cost money. But I'm thinking duck. What my dad used to do is he used to shoot the duck, go and basically just rip it up on the ground, pull the breasts out, stick them in the plastic bag in his pocket, and go home.
Oh.
Coyotes would eat the rest of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
That's interesting.
The
We've got to get back on the air.
Canadian geese, I understand, are not good to eat.
Canada geese.
Canadian.
Canada.
Canucks.
Look it up. All right. We'll be right back. I'm not sure about that. I think you're right, though. I think you're right because of their diet.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
It's the WSJM Morning Show where you're going to learn a lot today because I've already learned what the half penny looked like.
Yeah,
And how much is it worth, Mike?
$85.
85. So if you have a half penny that was discontinued by the United States back in 1857, according to the online site that Mike just found, they're worth a pretty penny.
Right.
Or
In halfway decent condition. This is an 1809.
wow,
There's some beat up ones for $40, but
jeez. That's good coinage. We were talking about the discontinuation of the penny, and it led us down a whole rabbit trail. But anyway, we'll talk more about stuff in just a moment. We've got to get to some weather. It's chilly as you step out the door today. 19 degrees in Benton Harbor, 23 in St. Joseph, 21 in South Haven. Dowagiac is 13. New Buffalo 20 and Buchanan 15. You might be sitting in St. Joseph thinking to yourself, 23 degrees, that's not so bad, but the feels like is 10. Just so it's a little chilly as you step out. The forecast for today, partly cloudy skies, high of 33. Tonight's forecast, mostly cloudy, low of 20. Tuesday's forecast, mostly cloudy, a 20% chance of snow flurries, a high around 30. And then Wednesday, the snow chance increases a little bit, and we keep it around Thursday as well. Friday, it starts to clear back up. Just partly cloudy skies, but it's going to get colder, obviously, with a high of 25 and a low of 8. Some of the news that we're following in the WSJM newsroom this morning, the Van Buren County Sheriff's Office says they've recovered multiple stolen trailers from a residence in Decatur Township. Sheriff Dan Abbott reports that in late January, deputies responded to the 37,000 block of 82nd Avenue to help our local Benton Township police locate a stolen trailer. When they got to that property, they located the stolen trailer, and they say they found several other trailers along with a vast amount of construction equipment. The sheriff's office says the owner of the property was unable to provide proof of ownership for any of the trailers in question, and several assets had missing or obliterated serial or VIN numbers.
nothing suspicious here.
Nothing suspicious to see there at all. The trailers, along with a large amount of stolen construction equipment, were seized by the Van Buren County Sheriff's Office pending identification of ownership. The items have since been secured in a different facility. The sheriff's office says the case is under investigation. Charges will be sought at a later time. The total value of the stolen property not yet known. But just one of the trailers they found was loaded up with what they say is more than $45,000 worth of supplies.
Wow.
In one trailer. And they said they found multiple trailers. Somebody been busy.
Somebody had been busy
in a bad way.
Somebody's going to spend the springtime in lockup.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably accurate. So we'll keep you abreast of that
He's
story.
probably going to be in the same jail cell as the guy who stole the Jeep while he was on meth.
And the trees.
Yeah.
And the tree
They
thief.
told about all of his friends that helped him.
Other news that we're following: if you've become tired of the government shutdown crises in Washington, D.C., area Congressman Bill Huizenga says that era might be coming to an end. Huizenga tells us the current continuing resolution to fund the government runs out in March, so next month, and he's hoping lawmakers will finally get to work on a real budget after years of kicking tax and spend questions down the road. First up is reauthorizing the 2017 tax cuts that are set to expire this year. Huizenga adds, the days of continuing resolutions are hopefully over.
It's a bane of my existence, and it should be the bane of everybody's existence up here. It's a terrible way of funding government because you don't actually go through and weed the garden. You don't figure out, what's the good stuff, what's the bad stuff. You just keep funding everything as it is, and that's not a healthy way of funding government. So I am hoping that we don't have to do any more continuing resolutions. If we do, it has got to be short term.
Huizenga says the government cannot continue spending at its current levels, telling us it's spending more on interest for the debt than it spends on our national defense. He calls that unsustainable. As we've reported previously, Huizenga expects any major cuts planned by Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency to be run through Congress. He's optimistic that programs like the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative will continue, telling us once the value of that initiative is explained, most agree it's worth the money. And finally, Michigan U.S. Senator Elissa Slotkin has made her first address on the Senate floor since being sworn into office last month. Slotkin spent a good portion of her address advocating for both political parties to work together across the aisle.
Wherever I can, I'm going to be looking for places that I can work together. And on things like veterans issues or broadband internet, agriculture. But I think every day my challenge is going to be to figure out what are the things I have to compromise on and what are the things I should never compromise on.
Slotkin acknowledged voters sent the message they wanted change in the federal government based on the election results. However, she says those changes should only come in the confines of within the law and the Constitution, not allowing unvetted individuals, she referenced Elon Musk, for having access to the data of private citizens. So there you go.
There you go.
It used to be so, and that's some of the news that we're following in the WSJM newsroom. As I mentioned to you earlier, Mike, it used to be in the U.S. Senate. There's a tradition, and who knows where it came from, but the tradition was when you get elected to the Senate, it's the most august body,
Right.
Of democracies in the United States, or in the world, and as a U.S. senator, you're one of 100. You're one of 100, so you wield great power, and with that power, you have great responsibility, and Spider-Man and all that stuff. But it used to be get into the U.S. Senate, figure out what this is, because now you deal on a whole different stage, whole different level of what you were maybe in the U.S. House of Representatives or in other elected office, and that you don't typically give your first floor speech until you settle in, and that settle in period was recognized as 12 months later, a year.
So she's about 11 months early.
She's 11 months early on that. So some senators will look at that and say, that's great. You should do that. Get out there and use your time wisely. Others will say, learn the body, understand the body from the inside, because you can look at it from the outside and kind of think you know what it's about, but until you're inside the role, I don't know. It's just something to think about.
Well, I just think there's a lot of intricacies of government that just your newcomers don't get.
Yeah.
I have a nephew that was in the Marine Corps and was stationed at Camp David.
Oh.
And there was a past president, when elected, said he was going to close Camp David.
Yeah.
Because he assumed it was just a resort for the president.
Had
and
no
diplomats.
idea.
Didn't realize it was an active military base.
Yeah.
And so the orders came down that they were going to basically evaluate to close it.
Wow.
Then once he came and saw what it was, then he wasn't closing it. But those types of things that you say in the beginning, because, well, this seems like a really good idea, we'll just close it. Oh, wait, there's ramifications to, kind of goes back to the penny.
Yeah, the penny.
Right.
Get rid of it.
Just get rid of the penny. Now everything costs 4 cents more.
Everything. Yeah, you don't get the 99-cent deal anymore.
No, that's gone.
Because you can't get the
dollar
penny.
menu is the hard dollar menu.
All right, we'll continue talking about this and more. Thank you for that insight. Camp David, that must be a cool assignment.
Yeah.
Do you ever have any stories about good stuff?
Oh yeah.
Share them.
So this is under Bush's administration.
Okay.
He said that in the springtime, they had a landscaper come out because they were going to entertain a diplomat and basically put in all these flowers.
Okay.
So instant spring, right? So they come out and put on all these flowers.
Yeah.
Well, overnight, it was like a buffet line for the deer. So the deer came and ate all the flowers. So they get up in the morning and they're like, so they call back the landscaper and they're like, hey, we need flowers. And they're like, you're not going to get that many flowers anywhere. We've been growing these for this purpose.
Yeah.
And so it was
they didn't have a backup.
Thousands of dollars of flowers. And so at that point, there was basically a standing order that if you saw one of these, what they, I think at that time called field rats.
Oh no.
You could request to engage and eliminate them.
Oh no.
And so he says it was a very hostile environment for those deer that year because they had decimated the foliage.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, no backup flowers for that.
No backups.
But the backup plan was get rid of the field rats.
Right.
And engage. Hopefully they did it in a nice way.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right. It's 7:14. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Thank you for sharing that. We've got sports from Dave Wolf.
Philly and KC in Super Bowl 59.
Field rats. I mean, as long as it's for a good cause.
Right.
Got to keep the flowers.
Right.
I wonder who that diplomat was that was coming through, the high profile.
I don't know.
But it's funny you mentioned that because in Washington, D.C., they do that. They have the best landscapers probably in the nation,
Anywhere,
if
yeah.
not the world. And they've got dedicated spots for all these flowers. And today you can just have, some winter weeds there. Tomorrow it can be full bloom tulip. Looks great.
There's no waiting period.
Yeah, no waiting period whatsoever. It's just all of a sudden out there. But anyway, what do you got? What's going on over there?
I'm trying to post on our Facebook feed a picture of the half cent.
Oh. I'm going to say good morning. Good morning. Teresa says that was one of the worst Super Bowls. Let me see. Where do we have it? Yeah, that was the worst Super Bowl. LOL. That's from Teresa. So good.
Okay.
Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Bill. Teresa says, good morning, Mike and Ken. How are my favorite radio guys? Aw. Teresa,
nice.
thank you. That's so nice.
Probably because she doesn't have any other radio guys.
Hey, we'll take it at face value. Let's see. Hartford starts in Kalamazoo, starts in April. One more indoor race and start in May. Okay, good. Bill giving us an update on his RC racing.
Oh,
I would imagine indoor is so much different than outdoor, Bill. Because, I mean, indoor, are you on AstroTurf? Do they have dirt tracks for indoor on the ones you race on? I'm curious. Because I've only been to one indoor track, and that was the one out in, I don't know, I think it's in Elkhart.
okay.
And it was all AstroTurf. Which changes the tires because you can't like fishtail around and spin around and
No drift.
no drift. Maybe they have drift. Maybe the experts, they know how to do that with the slick tires or whatever like that.
Slick tire.
The slicks. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with these steel and aluminum tariffs. Again, Whirlpool Corporation, again, we talked about it earlier. They're already planning $200 million in cost takeout according to the latest earnings call. And if the tariffs don't if the tariffs come into effect and interest rates don't go down, thus keeping the housing market from climbing or recovering, because Whirlpool Corporation has said in multiple earnings reports they're waiting for the U.S. housing market to come back,
right,
in a way that would benefit their company. And I mean, I don't know. Seems like there are a few headwinds on the horizon.
Yes. At least in the near future. Anyhow.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that one, but just wanted you to be aware of that. All right, we'll get back to the morning show here. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, you want to talk about your list?
My Super Bowl list?
Yeah.
All right. Let me get off my half cent idea.
No, we can talk about the half cent.
Oh, no. I mean, I just had it up and
you just kept talking about it?
Yeah. I'm done
Or
now.
kept looking at it?
I'm done now.
You can keep talking about the half cent.
No,
Whatever you want to do. We'll talk about the Gulf of America while you get your stuff in order. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. We'll be right back on the WSJM Morning Show.
Investment advice offered through True Blue Financial, a registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
True Blue Financial, independent, uncomplicated, client first.
Partly sunny skies today, chilly start, but we end up at 33 later this afternoon with relatively light winds. Will the clouds return tonight? We're back to mostly cloudy skies. We drop down to 20. And then for tomorrow, we're going to be mostly cloudy with chances of snow flurries off and on, high temperatures at 30. The heaviest snow will fall Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg, along with Mike Weibel here, he's got a bad penny he can't get rid of because he's been trying to post the half penny picture on our Facebook page, but he can't seem to navigate.
Struggling.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. Just got a notice from one of our news services. It's called a kill notification, which sounds really horrible.
Yeah.
But what they're saying is they want to kill a story that they have filed. And the reason they want to do it is because the footage of Taylor Swift at the NFL game not cleared for use.
Oh,
yeah. Somebody said you didn't get it in writing, did you?
whoopsie.
Yeah. So the wire service there is having to pull back on that story, but that story still happened. Taylor Swift got booed at the NFL.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate. Don't boo Taylor.
No, it's not her fault.
No,
She's worth billions of dollars.
Yeah, not her fault the checks didn't clear for the referees to call the game in the way that they wanted.
Maybe she had to pay for it.
Oh, they expected it to come out of her account.
Right. She was going to buy her beau a.
Here's a nice little engagement gift if you ever give me a ring.
Right. Here's your ring. Where's mine?
Yeah, exactly. Do you still get a ring if you lose the Super Bowl like that?
I don't think so. No.
Really? You get no ring?
No
I
ring.
bet you get a ring. I bet the losing team gets a ring.
I don't think you.
I don't want to give
one.
you an assignment. I'm not going to give you an assignment.
Dude, yeah, you are.
While you're doing that, President Trump announced yesterday that it was the first ever Gulf of America Day, following an executive order that he has now formalized that sets in motion the process of changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico. Honestly, I thought that he had already signed that executive order. I thought the White House had already said that they did that. Apparently, they did it over the weekend. He signed the proclamation yesterday and had the flight crew aboard Air Force One announce that they are passing over the newly renamed Gulf of America when it flew from Palm Beach, Florida to New Orleans. Trump made the trip on Sunday, obviously, to attend the Super Bowl. The proclamation declares February 9th, 2025 as Gulf of America Day, adding, I call upon public officials and all the people of the United States to observe this day with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. So he signed an executive order on Inauguration Day, giving the Department of Interior 30 days to take all appropriate action needed to facilitate the name change. That's what happened. Is he signed the executive order that said, hey, Department of Interior, you got a month to do something here. Well, apparently they didn't do it fast enough, so he signed it on Air Force One and said, it's now the Gulf of America.
As they flew over it.
I have signed this thing. Gulf of America. I kept checking Google Maps to see if it changed, and it hadn't.
No.
Maybe it'll change now.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah. Anyway.
So you were all right. The Super Bowl losers do get a ring. Honoring them as champions of the respective conference.
Okay. So, oh, very good. Well, thank you.
Sort of like, Miss Congeniality.
You
made it a long way and you participated, and so here's your gift.
Do you think it has as many diamonds as the winner's ring?
I would think not.
It's made out of aluminum. It's made out of a zinc penny.
Yeah, the
stretched
cubic zirconia.
Oh goodness,
diamonds are a little foggy.
Yeah, oh dear. They're probably they're grown in a lab somewhere.
Right.
Let's see. CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, is under threat. Russell Vought is the acting director of the CFPB and ordered staffers at the agency to stop all work. An email he sent out on Saturday night. Yeah. What? You look concerned?
No, I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop on this one.
Yeah. So Russell Vought said, I'm committed to implementing the president's policies consistent with the law and acting as a faithful steward of the Bureau's resources. He said, effective immediately, unless expressly approved by the acting director or required by law, all employees, contractors, and other personnel of the Bureau shall cease all supervision and examination activity. Because, they were basically there to supervise and examine stuff that could potentially harm consumers.
Right.
And so they were the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Employees were also directed not to start or continue investigations, stop existing investigations, not approve or issue any proposed rules or guidance, and not issue any public communications. I mean, the CFPB was created basically within the recent years to basically as an independent government agency to protect consumers in the financial industry. Is that really necessary? Was it a layer additional that wasn't necessary?
Right.
Because if you follow all the rules and regulations, and if the agencies and bureaus and departments that are charged with upholding those areas do their job, then you don't really need the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Right.
I think that's the argument, right?
Yeah. It's just another layer of bureaucracy.
Yeah, somebody else to keep an eye on stuff.
Right.
It was created in 2011 after one of the recessions that we've had. It was brought forward by Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, who posted on X Saturday night that the CFPB dissolution is basically giving big banks and corporations the green light to scam families. So that's her position on it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
All right. 7:25. It's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg, and here with me is Mike Weibel. Mike, you were putting some lists together. Is that right?
Yeah, the Super Bowl commercials.
Oh,
Just looking at what was the feedback from last night's commercials.
okay.
I can't say I necessarily agree with all of the grading. They do an A through F
Okay.
grading of
So
the commercials. So,
Standard elementary grades given
right.
to the commercials that were on the Super Bowl last
So
night.
I'll jump to the layer of A's and go from bottom to top.
Okay.
DoorDash was called Dash Pass Math.
Oh,
They
they got an A?
got an A.
A for effort? A for...
Yeah, well, they're in the A class. It was a good commercial. I saw it.
Okay.
Totino's Pizza Rolls.
Oh.
That one got an A as well. Bud Light Cul-de-sac Party with Shane Gillis. That was on there. And,
Okay.
and Post Malone was that.
Oh, good.
Nike So Win with Caitlin Clark.
Okay.
Pringles Call the Mustaches.
Oh, yeah. I saw something. I love what AI is able to do these days.
Yeah.
Pulling facial hair off.
Hellman's when Sally met Hellman's. It was
Oh.
like when Sally met Harry.
Harry Met Sally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
The diner scene.
Yep.
Yeah. The inappropriate diner
Yes.
scene. But I mean, come on. It is mayonnaise.
Exactly. Instacart, we're here. Their commercial,
Okay.
homes.com, what's legal? When they changed their name, according to Morgan Freeman, to the best ever homes.com, I think.
So this is these are all A's.
Right.
Let's jump to F's. Who
Well,
flunked?
Okay. And then the top of the A was
Oh.
Duncan with
Oh,
Ben
Dun-
Affleck.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I'll have to go back and look at that commercial because I've not been impressed with his commercials on
No.
Dunkin'
So I
Donuts.
say I
to
don't
date.
necessarily agree with all of these.
Okay.
One of these that they gave kind of a not an F, but down at the bottom as far as
Like a passing grade.
yeah, which was the Snoop and Tom Brady Stop Hate commercial.
Oh,
I thought that was good.
okay.
I didn't think that was.
But they didn't like it.
I guess I didn't like it.
Okay, your raters are flawed.
Hexclad unidentified flying object was the big loser
Oh.
for all the commercials.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They got a failing grade. Why? Did they say why?
Seems like it was was setting up a scenario where Gordon Ramsay was going to cook up some alien food and then then dissolved into yet another celebrity Super Bowl ad.
Oh,
This
okay.
one making wacky commentary on celebrities themselves. Fumbled a big opportunity. Should have had Gordon pan frying some alien steaks and butter.
Oh, so they're second guessing how the ad should have gone. The
Right.
story should have been told. But they had Gordon Ramsay in it, and Gordon Ramsay got an F.
Yeah,
Oh no,
that's hard.
he's not going to be happy about
Not
that
at all.
because I mean he's an A-lister.
Right.
All right, what else? Anything else? Who else failed?
That was it.
That
They
was
were
the big fail?
They were the big fail according to Yahoo.
Did you have a favorite commercial or one that really stood out to you that spoke to you?
Yeah, I mean there was again the one with Snoop Dogg in it. That was a good one. I was surprised the Haagen-Dazs commercial that had Vin Diesel and Ludacris in it.
Oh,
I was kind of like,
okay.
I mean, people seem to like it, but I didn't really think it was great.
Ludacris seems to be making a comeback.
He does.
Yeah.
Baird, we're doing our every 2 years we have a our annual meeting.
Yeah.
And
Ludacris is going to be there.
Ludacris is going to be one
Get
of the
out!
yeah, one of the that and Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. I really want to see Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That's fun.
So what are the Stella Artois
Okay.
beer?
Oh yeah.
It was called The Other David, and it was David Beckham.
Oh yeah.
And supposedly he finds out that he has a twin at birth. and so he goes to meet his twin so he goes and knocks on his door, and it's what's his name? God, I can't think of the guy's name right now, but the guy from Bourne Ultimatum.
Oh, Jason Bourne.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
Jason
The guy who
Bourne.
plays Jason
Yeah.
Bourne. Yeah.
Matt
Damon.
Damon.
Yeah.
So it was Matt Damon, and so he comes and he's telling him that he's really his long lost brother, and calls him David. Is your name David? Yeah, my name's David. Well, I've got something to tell you. And he goes, and he's looking at him like,
yeah.
And so somebody throws him a football and he kicks it like out of the neighborhood. And so David Beckham looks at him and he goes, I got to tell you something. And he turns and he goes, what? Am I as famous as that Matt Damon guy? And he was like, no, but you're my brother.
That's a great commercial. Memorable.
It is.
Stella Artois or whatever it's called. Antois, is that how you pronounce it? All right. Well, good. We'll see what else we can find out on the Super Bowl if you're interested. Was Shabuzi part of this thing?
Yep. Shabuzi had a commercial.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, for Nerds.
Yeah.
The Nerds candy had a Super Bowl commercial?
No, Nerd Wallet.
Oh, Nerd Wallet. Okay. Because it just says Nerds here.
And then Seal had a commercial.
Oh, was he up there with Eminem?
No, it was really odd. He was a seal. Seal was a seal.
Oh, I guess that's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, AI.
It's 7:31. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Back to more of it in just a moment. We've got to check in on the Bloomberg Market Minute, and then we'll have the latest from ABC News and our local news and state news, and then our local sports. It's all coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Would you call free checking that pays you?
Oh my gosh, commercials.
So Teresa said, do you guys remember the Budweiser frogs?
I do. Yeah. Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
Budweiser. Yeah. No, those were good. Let me see. Make sure we get our things on track here. Let's see. I'm looking at some of the other commercials here. Oh, Tim Calkins, a professor of marketing at Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management, said this was a complicated Super Bowl.
Oh my.
For advertising. How is it a complicated Super Bowl?
I don't know.
You have viewers, you have a message to get out there in a creative way. How is that complicated? Most ads were in development during last fall's U.S. presidential election race. Oh, so avoiding controversy. I mean, honestly, if you're going to sell something, are you really messing around with politics?
Yeah, you really should.
You really wouldn't be. The finalized crop of commercials feature a lot of simple humor, nostalgia, and a few creative risks. But even that approach can backfire. That's the challenge. Everyone wants to be safe. You want to be interesting. Blah, 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 blah. Again, the cost. So there were 80. Do you have a calculator handy? You probably know this in your head. There were 80 Super Bowl ads last night. And the stated price for a 30-second ad was $8 million. If each of those 80 ads was 30 seconds and everyone paid $8 million for that, how much money? 8 times 80.
That is $640 trillion.
No. Is it really that much? No, it's going to be like billions or something like
billion,
that.
640 billion.
Okay. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, still a lot of cash.
Budweiser brought back its Clydesdales.
Yep.
Including a foal that wanted to join the delivery team.
Oh,
that's cute. Cute little animals. We were going to watch the Puppy Bowl because we've been watching that. And it was on a channel we don't get.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm sure I probably could have downloaded an app and watched it, but it's like, nah. Right. The TV went out. We had to bring up the extra TV.
It was a rough weekend.
I sure missed the high definition, though.
Yeah. When you don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good. All right. Let's see. Bill says the Raiders are correct. Anything with Snoop is bad. Aw. He's kind of fun, though. I think he's nostalgia.
Yeah.
He's like, remember, the summer of our youth.
He is. And I think he's matured.
Yeah.
I think if you would have said, do I like Snoop Dogg 5 years ago? I would have said no. But today I mean, it was a little odd when he was on the Olympics. I must admit, I was like, what is Snoop Dogg doing at the Olympics? But he's got a really good marketing team, management team, because he's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And the stuff he does with Martha Stewart cracks me up.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's really fun.
And Martha's old.
Hey, come on. She's doing great.
She is doing great, but she's no spring chicken.
She's seasoned.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. And everything's good. All right, it's 7:35. We're going to get back to the show here in just a moment before we offend any other celebrities on the WSJM Morning Show.
In its 2024 annual report that it costs about 3.7 cents to produce and distribute a penny, up more than 20% from the previous year. Futures point to a rebound this morning following a sharp Wall Street sell-off Friday as traders considered the implications of threatened tariffs and dug into some economic data which showed a slide in consumer sentiment and mixed jobs figures. Friday's losses on Wall Street ranged from around 1% to almost 1.4%. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
Oh, what a difference a week can make. Good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. It's the 10th day of February. It's a Monday, and we've got news coming up from ABC in just a moment. We'll also have a tease of our latest local news that we're following in the WSJM newsroom. Forecast for today, partly cloudy skies, a high around 33. Tonight's forecast, mostly cloudy, a low of 20. Tuesday, start to see a chance of flurries, snow flurries coming in, a high around 30. Wednesday, more of a chance of snow, mostly cloudy skies, and that chance of snow increasing overnight into Thursday. The high around on Wednesday, midweek, we're going to see around 27 degrees, and the low is going to be around 15. By the time we get to Friday, the high is going to be 25, and the low is going to be 8. So we're gonna keep the winter-like weather. Let's see, what do we have right now? In Benton Harbor, 19 degrees. St. Joseph, 23. South Haven, it's 22 degrees. The feels like in St. Joseph is 10, so it's a little brisk outside. Latest news from ABC News now, and then we'll have state news and our local sports. It's all coming up right here on WSJM.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. No three-peat for the Kansas City Chiefs. ABC's Andrew Dimbert with more on last night's big Super Bowl win.
Fans in Philadelphia started climbing poles even before the game ended as the Birds cruised to a 40-22 win. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts named Super Bowl MVP. The 26-year-old getting revenge on the Chiefs, who narrowly beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl just 2 years ago.
President Trump becoming the first sitting president ever to attend a Super Bowl. On his way there, he said more announcements will be coming this week about 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum products into the U.S. The president also directing the Treasury Department to stop minting new pennies, citing the cost. Confirmation votes are expected this week in Washington. Both RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, nominees for Health and Human Services Secretary and Director of National Intelligence, appear to have enough Republican support after some earlier opposition. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
19 fine degrees in Benton Harbor, even though the temperature feels like is only 11 right now. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's the WSJM Morning Show news that we'll have for you at 8 o'clock this morning. The Michigan Black Summit wrapped up over the weekend in Benton Harbor, bringing high-profile state leaders to the area, including 2 current and 1 potential candidate for governor. Senate Republican leader Eric Nesbitt was there. So was Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson and Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist. He made some news saying, look for some news from him this week, some indicating that maybe that means he's going to run for governor as well. Toss his hat into the ring. Maybe he's going to run for Senate. Who knows?
You don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, but he says he's going to make some news soon. So we'll watch that. Plan to clean up Ox Creek and restore its wildlife habitat has been presented. So that's moving forward. We'll tell you more about that coming up at 8 o'clock. And then Congressman Tim Walberg is welcoming House passage of HALT. It's the Halt All Lethal Trafficking of Fentanyl Act. So that's passed the House of Representatives. We'll see if it gets through the Senate. All that and more is coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. We've got sports with Dave Wolf coming up next, the Moody on the Market update, and a whole lot more. Right now, though, let's check out what's happening in state news.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher.
Okay. And then, so more stuff is happening in Washington, D.C. We've got the tariffs. We've got the CFPB, the Department of Education, a few others, USAID, that are all getting the scrutiny right now. And then by the time March rolls around, that's when President Trump is expected to deliver his State of the Union address. So we'll keep an ear on that one.
You know, it's never easy to be that guy that's making cost cutting.
No.
So in my youth,
You were a Ute?
I was a Ute.
Okay.
And I was given the task at the business that I was at to wrangle in some costs.
Oh.
And so one of the things that
you were the popular guy.
Yeah. So one of the things that we had like a Coke machine that was taps. So you could just come up and get a glass of whatever the beverages that you want on a tap, not a can or a So
it's like one of the fountain drink things.
Right. Yeah,
okay.
Like a fountain drink.
So you could drink it anytime you want, as much as you want.
Right.
Okay.
And so there was a lot of beverages going out the door there to where we were getting, there was probably 20 people on staff there, and we were going through like a delivery every month.
Yeah.
And so I cut that.
I bet that made you really popular.
Yeah. It needs to say that I got a lot of grimaces at break times and whatnot because I had cut the beverage. But
did they hover around you at lunchtime as you like popped your Fresca? And, so you got a soft drink there.
Yeah.
You got a
that
pop.
Was like the people that were going in the break room, and then there was and they'd be like, well, where's the beverage? Are we not getting deliveries? And then I would leave and go to lunch, and they were.
No, you're exactly right. Having to be that person to stop something, especially if it's a government program.
Yeah.
And the bigger the government, the bigger the challenge is to change it. But I remember back in Washington State talking with she was a Democrat. She ran on the Democrat ticket, but she was actually a Republican, Dixie Lee Ray. She was the governor of Washington State for a period of time. And talking with her, she said this was right around the same time that the Clintons were bringing their universal health care proposal.
Okay. Yeah.
And they were on their road tour. And she said one of the things that you have to acknowledge is throughout history, once a government gives something to a population, then you can never rein it back in.
Right.
Because there will be, I think she said there'll be rioting in the streets or something like that. But I mean, figuratively or actually, it's very difficult to take things back.
Yeah.
Was it a sad day? Did they play taps when you were taking the draft Coke machine out?
I did it very much on the cover of darkness.
Over a weekend in the middle of the night.
Disconnected. They picked up the cans. They were gone, and everybody was nothing was working. Hey, the fountain's not working. I'm like, yeah, I know.
I mean, the costs that were associated with that.
Right. It was nuts.
Who was changing the fountain stuff every time it ran out?
It was, we'd have like backup canisters and
but somebody had to do it.
Would come and have to change it out.
You're kidding. So somebody, oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Coke's out. Call maintenance. And then, it was just dumb. I don't know why it ever was there. And it was there for years. And so when I got rid of it, I was not very popular.
Whose turn is it to clean out the Coke machine?
And yet I was the one that my cuts were not drastic enough. That was what I was told.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's
fun. They're lucky they only lost a Coke machine under my watch.
Oh, that's fun. Let's see. Hims and Hers made its Super Bowl commercial debut with a spot for the telehealth company's weight loss medications. Set to the This Is America by Childish Gambino. His music is so much fun.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. The commercial apparently calls out weight loss prescriptions and the weight loss industry that feeds on our failure. The drug industry groups took issue with the ad, saying, asking the Food and Drug Administration to take action and protect Americans from misleading markets. In a statement, Hims and Hers said the drug industry is trying to cancel an ad that directly calls out how they are part of a system that fails to prioritize the health of Americans. The system is broken, and this is just another example of how they don't want Americans to know that they have options.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Hims, I didn't know they had a Hers too, but Hims and Hers, they basically are taking a lot of things that used to be prescription directly to consumer.
Right.
And they found out some sort of legal way to do it. I don't know if they're all over the United States, but I think they're in a majority of states.
They are. And then I noticed this weekend walking through Walgreens because I had to go get something for family.
Yeah.
That they were hims and hers on the aisles there. So they're selling their products in Walgreens now.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Do they have deodorant?
I don't know.
Asking for a friend. No, I'm just kidding. No. I mean, I buy. What did I used to get? I used to get like the Men and Stick, and it was the clear gel. And for whatever reason, I changed away from that, and I went to this. They got me on the marketing. This thing that has Sasquatch on it.
Oh yeah.
And it's like that. What's the deflation or consumer inflation where you get like this many chips in a bag? This.
Oh yeah, it's just smaller.
Snackflation or whatever. Same thing with deodorants now.
Yeah.
They put like this much in a container that's like this big.
Right.
So you think you're buying the big jumbo size, so I don't have to go back to the drugstore to buy more deodorant. So Mike, I'm sorry to tell you, I'm just going to give up. No more deodorant.
Okay. Matthew McConaughey.
I did that during COVID. I gave it up.
Did you?
And I actually I smelled bad for a couple of days.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm told I smelled fine.
Really?
Yeah, because I think the bad smell was the ducts cleaning out.
Oh.
And then after that, it was like, oh, you're fine.
Hmm.
Not buying it?
No.
Good thing we were sequestered.
I think don't they say that you only smell something for like 30 seconds and then basically your brain goes on and processes something
Moves
else.
to other
So,
stuff?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
Here, hold on.
I wonder whether that was not Stephanie's.
Hey, you stop it. I'll be right back.
Turn tonight, we're back to mostly cloudy skies. We dropped down to 20. And then for tomorrow, we're going to be mostly cloudy with chances of snow flurries off and on, high temperatures at 30. The heaviest snow will fall Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
It's 7:47. It's the WSJM morning show. No, I was looking at more Super Bowl stuff because the Super Bowl was yesterday. I wouldn't know because my TV gave out on Saturday night. Not that I was going to watch it anyway.
I was going to say, what difference does it make?
I ended up watching the bit that I watched on my iPad.
Oh.
Yeah, because YouTube TV had it on Fox News, obviously.
Right.
And then I could have watched it on Fubo or Tubi. I guess it was Tubi. Tubi had it streaming for free.
Yeah.
But you had to sign up. And I was like, no, I'm already signed up for YouTube. I'm going to watch it over there. But in Homes.com's second 2025 Super Bowl commercial, Morgan Freeman, Dan Levy, and Heidi Gardner picked up where they left off, trying to find a way to legally say that home buying site is the best. And apparently there was some monologue that Morgan Freeman was going to do that got canceled. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, some of these commercials, the stuff that they pull is interesting. I don't know.
Well, the funny part about that was that they supposedly had their attorney in there.
Yeah.
And they're bringing up this thing of calling it the best, that they are the best.
Right.
And they had their whole Homes, we are the best.com. And the attorney's like, you can't say that. And Morgan Freeman's like, why not? We're the best. He's like, you can't say that. So it was like you're watching into the boardroom of them saying, we legally can't do this, but we're doing it.
Yeah, I love the cheekiness of it.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense, but at the same time. All right. 7:48. Let's do the Moody on the Market update.
Let's do it.
You want to do the Moody on the Market update? All right. And then do you have any more lists that we need to go through? Are we good?
We're good right now.
We're good right now? Okay. The Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And one of the things that we wanted to talk about this morning, a little bit about Southwestern Michigan College. We had a news story last week. Their president decided to take a different job in Alma. And so the Board of Trustees has named a new interim college president. The current SMC president, Joe Odenwald, announced last week that he was leaving in June to take on the position of president at Alma College. And now the Board of Trustees has appointed Senior Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer Brent Brewer as interim president effective May 11th. The SMC Board of Trustees says after accepting Odenwald's resignation, it had a lengthy and thorough conversation involving all 7 trustees regarding the best course forward. The vote, that is, to appoint Brewer as interim president was unanimous, and the board says it will continue discussions about the need and method of any future searches to fill the role of president on a more permanent basis. So it sounds like they're gonna give Brent a chance to prove his worth there in the role
for a month.
Well, no, he'll take it on in May.
Yeah,
and then they'll go forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he gets the training wheels kicked off when the other manager or the president leaves in June.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah, well,
that's about right. Brewer has worked
wings and fly.
Brewer has worked for more than 16 years at the college. He joined SMC in a professional role as outreach specialist in September of 2008, and he also served as director of enrollment management, community outreach coordinator, director of the Niles campus, and associate vice president of the Niles campus, and other positions. So we'll see what happens there. So congratulations to Brent Brewer on becoming the next interim president of SMC.
Nice.
That's the Moody on the Market update. You can find that story and more at moodyonthemarket.com. Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. We'll be back with more in just a moment right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home.
Yeah, I mean maybe I'm reading too much into this, but let's see, what's the line that cued me here? So he's going to be interim president effective May 11th, but then they said we voted unanimously to appoint Brewer. And then the board says it'll continue discussions about the need and method of any future service or search, quote unquote.
So they may not need it.
Exactly. And the method. Yeah.
So we're hiring you, but don't put the key on your key ring yet.
Something like that. Let's see what else we have here. Did you watch the halftime show? Was it any good?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite, I mean, I guess I didn't quite know what to expect.
Yeah.
And
not a big Kendrick Lamar fan?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, his music was good. I'm not a huge rap fan, but I just was like, I just didn't know what to expect. And it was kind of underwhelming, I guess I would say.
Underwhelming. Okay. I thought people were very excited to hear A minor sung by the whole stadium.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they were.
Roberta Flack is 88 years old today.
Oh,
yeah.
Roberta
Flack. Remember that? First time I ever saw your face?
Uh-huh.
Or actually, the first time ever I saw your face.
Ever.
Yeah. People would be like, oh, no, it's not that. Laura Dern is
like
58.
Canadian geese and Canada geese.
Canada geese. Look it up. Did you look it up yet?
You just got all over Roberta Flack and how they pronounce her name, and I busted my chops about Canadian.
Because it's Canada. Because I used to think it was Canadian geese too.
Well, there's no point in looking because I know if you are that confident, you're right. So there's no point.
Kenna's always right.
Yeah,
Kenna's always right. Let's see. Oh no.
So I've tapped into this argument of what to do with the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Some people are saying that they should play it on Saturday because not everybody gets off President's Day. So if they move the schedule out.
Hang on.
All right.
See, we got to do this on the air. We have to. Now we're back on the air.
So what some people are saying
we were talking about the Super Bowl,
right?
And how a lot of people think, hey, Monday after the Super Bowl should be a day off because number one, we're hungover. Number two, we're worthless because we're hungover. And number three, everyone likes a 3-day weekend. But you found.
Well, they wanted to move there's talk of moving the schedule out so that the Super Bowl Sunday is the day before President's Day so that everybody would have that day off. But people are arguing on Reddit that not everybody gets President's Day off.
Oh,
and
that's
so
true.
What they should do is move it to Saturday so that everybody would potentially have a Sunday off. And then, I don't know, there's a way to make it work for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that would work. I don't know because there's so much tradition around Super Bowl Sunday.
Right.
Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, all that stuff. I don't know. I would give it a shot, but Super Bowl Saturday just doesn't have that ring to it. Hello.
Yeah, no,
Hello?
I'm just perusing the comments that are.
The speaking of football, after 2 disappointing seasons, the Jets have decided that it's time to break up with Aaron Rodgers. Did you see this?
No, but I could understand why.
Yeah, the team has a new general manager and a new head coach. And they apparently they've decided to come in and make some changes. They're going to part ways with Rodgers. His record was 5-12. Why would they get rid of him?
I don't know.
Yeah, 5-12. So that gives you a winning percentage of 294, which apparently is way less than the person he replaced. Let's see, what else do we have here?
Well, I think he was somewhat, from what I understand, somewhat responsible for them firing their head coach.
Yeah.
Because they did not see eye to eye. Well, now he's getting the axe.
Let's see what else. This agricultural and food major coup for Border Patrol agents. They seized about $19 million. You know, we talk about the war against drugs and all that, and we talked earlier in the news about fentanyl. We'll talk about it. And new legislation to change it to a Schedule 1 offense and all that other stuff. So we talk about the ongoing war against drugs. And every time you build it, like let's say an 11-foot fence, the drug dealers will build a 12-foot ladder to get stuff through into the United States. Well, now Border Patrol agents say they've got a major coup. They seized about $19 million worth of methamphetamine that was hidden in cucumbers and jalapenos.
Oh man,
that is spicy.
I feel like they have the job of sewing that into a jalapeno.
Well, yeah, sewing that into a jalapeno. How do you even do that? Who comes up? Let's put it in the jalapenos.
That's right. They'll never look.
You know, these jalapenos are so big, we could probably hide an ounce of Coke in there. Let's try it. But guess how they found it?
How?
Dogs. Drug sniffing dogs. Those poor dogs.
Yeah. Chihuahuas.
No, I'm picturing German shepherds with sore noses now. Drug sniffing dogs. The dogs alerted on a tractor trailer that was heading into Texas from Mexico. Apparently the spiciness did not affect them. They just smelled the drugs over the smell of cucumbers and jalapenos. And then later on that day, they kept working. They also sniffed out $140,000 worth of heroin.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the drug trade is very active coming in from Mexico into the southern border of the United States. But yeah, $19 million worth of methamphetamines hidden in cucumbers and jalapenos.
So I was looking at, what about Canada?
Okay.
And fentanyl.
For jalapenos?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. For fentanyl.
They're hard to grow up there.
So it says that, that we don't think about the border to the north of being part of the drug problem.
Right.
But they said the trade in fentanyl takes place in both directions. In the first 10 months of 2024, the Canadian Border Service reported seizing 10.8 pounds of fentanyl entering the U.S., while the U.S. Border Patrol intercepted 32 pounds of fentanyl coming from Canada.
Huh. Like overall? That seems like a small amount.
Well, I think because a little goes a long way.
Oh, okay. 32 pounds. I guess that's pretty big.
Yeah.
That's pretty big. Yeah. I mean, the fentanyl, what the lawmakers have told me is that it's so easy to get. It's so cheap to produce. It's so easy to get. And they've even set up dummy mailboxes all over the United States, and they're just getting shipments from China. So it's coming in from the north, as you mentioned, it's coming in from the south, and it's coming in directly into the Postal Service.
Wow.
So there's huge demand, apparently, and supply to meet that. 7:59, it's the WSJM Morning Show, February 10th. It's Monday. Happy Monday. Happy to be with you. I'm Ken Lundberg. Over there is Mike Weibel. We'll be back next hour, but we thank you for enjoying us on the video live stream. Have a great day. Those of you who are watching on the video live stream, if you ever miss the video live stream, you can subscribe to it so that you get notifications.
How do you do that?
Well, you hit the bell. I don't know. How do you do that?
Well, first you got to like, follow, or subscribe.
On Facebook or YouTube.
Right. And then you hit the notification bell. So every time we go live, bing, you get notified.
I still don't see the bell. I'll look for the bell. I'll look for the bell.
Look for the bell.
All right. It's we're running for the border. Look for the bell. Taco Bell? No.
Taco Bell.
All right. It's 7:59. We've got ABC News now with the latest national and world
I still
news.
like the Chihuahua sniffing dogs.
Yeah, exactly. Local news is coming up next. It's WSJM. It's 8 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. There was a hearing this afternoon on the
Okay. Well, thank you very much for enjoying us on the video live stream. We enjoy you, and we enjoy your comments. So, Bill, do great with your racing, and let me know about the AstroTurf. And then, Teresa, thank you for letting us be your favorite radio hosts. John, of all time. John, good morning. Diane, if you're out there, good morning to you as well, and everyone else that's enjoyed us on the video live stream today. So, thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Preview. I'm sorry you're not going to be here. Going to talk about drones.
Really?
Yeah, in the 7 o'clock hour tomorrow.
You're having a
here
drone
on
specialist.
I'm going to have a drone specialist here on the show.
You do not want to miss that.
Tune in for that. See ya.
I'll be tuned in.
Okay. Bye.